गुड इवनिंग एंड वेलकम टू गाना शॉट। गाना शॉट में आप सबका दोबारा स्वागत है। टुडे वी गोना सी and understand about China's proposed dam on Brahmaputra and what are the implications thereof. Why am I doing this? I did put out a detailed interview of mine, talk of mine with Mr. Shriya here, and I explained the whole story. But still, people want to know, sir, can China do Indus Water Treaty abeyance on us? I said, okay, first and foremost, it can't do. I mean, it doesn't have a leg to stand on. And the second thing is, that's a far different thing, and this is a far different thing. There, it is like comparing apples and oranges. What we can do, China can't do to us. Rather, let me put it, what we can do to Pakistan, China can't do to us. Nothing. So I'll explain this to you. You have to understand it. And then I'll explain this proposed dam and what are the implications. And most importantly, we should understand why China is doing it. And can China do it? You know, there are a lot of ifs and buts on this story. Because there are very many loose ends which, I have not been able to understand. I'll talk, I won't say understand. I've not been able to put together. About that, I'll talk to you today in detail. Okay. First and foremost, look, there's a Tibet non-autonomous region, and you find a whole lot of this. I'll leave the map here in full glory, right? There are dams which are existing, there are dams which are proposed, where the site is under preparation, under construction, and all that. And you, depending on which map, which site you take, you will get that. But don't worry about it. Look at this map. You see, they call Tibet as the water tower of Asia. So you see, from Mount Kailash, you will see three rivers: Indus, Satluj, right, and the Ganges. Satluj is not exactly Mount Kailash, but then if you count it, you see four rivers: Ganges and Brahmaputra. All three start from Mount Kailash. This is an important map. This map is a Chinese map, so the borders are inaccurate. So don't book this thing. Okay. Very interestingly, you see the Ganges basin, Ganges Pura, Kahani. All rivers of the Ganges basin originate south of the Himalayas. Here it's only the Satluj which enters and the Indus which enters at Demchok. Okay. Now the thing is that Indus water can't be stopped because first and foremost, the amount of water which flows in Indus from Mount Kailash to, that is Mansarovar Lake, right up to Demchok where it enters India, is not that much. It's not that much. One. Number two, even if you put a dam out there, if you put a dam out here, what do you do with it? What do you do with that water? You can't use the water there, right? You can't, even if the slope is towards India, so the dam has to be towards India. And if you put the dam out there, that highway will get blocked. So they can't put a dam, just forget about it. They can't dam Indus at all. Satluj, they can do a bit. There's a thing called Parachu which comes there. There they can do a bit of mischief, but we have taken some steps about it, and I'll talk about it some other day. I'll analyze it with someone who knows things better. To be very honest about that Parachu business, I'm not 100% clear. I'll have to study it a bit. But China can do very little there. Okay. But let's talk of Brahmaputra. Brahmaputra flows across the entire length of Himalayas from Mount Kailash down up to this thing. So we'll talk of this and understand the story in detail. See, look at this. It starts here, it keeps coming as Yarlung Sangpo, right? This blue one. And keep coming, keep coming. They've got major dam at Zangmu. It's a run of the water dam. Then it doesn't matter much. And then it comes in and enters here. There's the big bend, it's called the big bend. And it enters here and comes down as Siang. Till it at Pasighat, it joins the main thing of Brahmaputra and comes back. Okay, this is the broad thing. Okay, but let's get into some details. This, there's a nice set of photographs which I've compiled, which I think all of you must see. So I'll show it to you. This is Sangpo. This Mount Kailash, from there it comes. It's a thin stream. There's not much water in it. Okay. Water starts collecting as it goes through gorges. Right? Brahmaputra flows in perpetual gorges across Tibet. And then, it goes around Namcha Barwa. This is Namcha Barwa. Here. This place. Right? Goes around Namcha Barwa, which is the highest peak in Himalayas on the east. After Namcha Barwa, Himalayas start flattening out and going down. Okay. This is the big bend where the river turns. Okay. And this is the river as it flows into India. It keeps going down. And then it enters the Brahmaputra, plains of Assam. And when it is on plains of Assam, it's like a sea. It's like an ocean. And if you fly over Brahmaputra during monsoons, you feel you're flying over an ocean. Especially when you, go over Guwahati. The Guwahati airport, when you take off or land from Guwahati, you feel that you're flying over an ocean. Multiple channels and this and that. It's a grand thing. I went there early this year to Guwahati, and it was a pleasure to see this again. And then this is Saraighat. Saraighat is Guwahati. Okay. And you find fishermen, grave, a beautiful sight. Okay. So this is what it is as far as testing. Now let's get into the nuts and bolts of this whole story. This is a beautiful map. It's a fantastic map. This explains the entire, it explains everything. Now, if you see this line is the Himalayan watershed. Okay. This is the Himalayan watershed. I mean, I put it in a different manner, but the way they have depicted this map, this is it. Why is this the Himalayan watershed? Right? This is the Himalayan watershed. If you carefully see Sikkim, Teesta, right? All rivers. I'll come to the rivers later. Subansuri, Siong, all these. Okay. They all flow from south of this watershed. One of the main tributaries is Lohit. And Lohit comes from across Tibet. Okay. But the water flow is so that it comes in a gorge, you can't stop it. Even if you stop it, it doesn't make a sausage of a difference. And Lohit is, past Walong, 100 kilometers past Walong. So, and I'll explain to you the mechanics a little later. And then Brahmaputra, incidentally, gets water from the south also. There's a southern drainage. This is Himalayas, this is the valley of Brahmaputra. South, there's a feature called the Borel Hills. From the Borel Hills, water goes down up north into Brahmaputra. And there's a lot of water from south to north. Why it goes from south to north? Very few people understand this. In monsoons, those Boreal Hills, the height is about 3,000 feet. It's not, you know, and the biggest town in Boreal Hills is a place called Haflong. And Haflong is where I stayed for 2 years, incidentally, two years plus. A lot of water, lot of this thing. It's a cold place. And it's one of the beautiful places there. One of the best uh, hill stations are in that area. So from there, those Boreal Hills, water goes north towards Brahmaputra. South of Boreal Hills, when water goes, it goes into the other thing. Okay, south, which is the into Kachar. Okay. Anyway, we'll leave that out at this point of time. It goes into the Barak River. The southern river is the Barak River. The southern valley is the Barak Valley. So we'll leave that out. We'll talk of Brahmaputra. So the drainage is here, and the only cut where water comes through is here. The only cut. Let's understand this. Look at this. This map, I'll show it full, because if you don't see it full, you'll not understand it also. What's there in my face? This is the Tibetan plateau. Okay. This is the Assam plains. This is Bhutan. This is Bongaigaon. And this is where Rangpur, this is Bangladesh. This I got from the Google map, Google Earth. So have a look at it. All right. Now, first, understand this. This is the watershed. Himalayan watershed. What is a watershed? It's a shed. Like in a shed, water falls. Any water which falls on this side, water will come this side. Any water here will go this side. Okay. Now you notice this entire area is green. Okay? The entire area is green. This entire area is brown or white. It is snowbound or there's no vegetation here. Why is that? Have you ever thought? You see greenery here, but not much greenery here. Only here you see greenery. Because when the monsoon comes and hits this area, the Himalayas block the monsoons. The monsoon enters across the Himalayas only here. Only here. After that, it gets back. So that is why this entire area is green, this entire area is brown. Now, as an extension of this, the water which is carried on rivers this side of north of Himalayas is also very less. This is something people don't understand. Brahmaputra doesn't carry that much of water along the main course as much it does elsewhere. Okay. And I suspect a lot of water of Brahmaputra is accumulated in the Big Bend or in that area. I will come to it. Now, in this context, have a look at how this is the flow of Yarlung Sangpo or Brahmaputra. Okay. In fact, this is Mansarovar. When it comes bend, it goes and then it drops down, comes down to Pasighat, Sadia, Pasighat, that's the area. And from there it becomes Brahmaputra. And here it enters Rangpur, north of Rangpur to Bangladesh. So this is the flow of water. I hope you people have liked it. I'm going to explain everything. So I would request a special thanks and like for this. And you must also subscribe to Gunner Shot. Okay. Now let me get back to the map. Okay. Now I'll take another map. Look at this. This is a three-dimensional map. I hope you can appreciate the three-dimensionality. This is Namcha Barwa, the biggest, highest peak in eastern Himalayas. After this, as I said, there's no peak higher to the east of this. Now, see the flow of Sangpo. It comes like this, goes down, and then it flows down into the plains of Assam. Okay, these are the plains of Assam here. This is not sky. These are all the plains of Assam. Anini, Roing, and all are the lower foothills of Arunachal Pradesh. This is actually the plains of Digboy, Pasighat. The river goes like this, and enters at Pasighat. This just to give you an idea. Okay. Now I'll go back and you see this, it comes like this. And this part is higher. This area in this great bend, which is to the west, this is to the west. Mind you, we are looking from the north. This is a view from the north, and this is north, and this is south. So this is east, and this is west. So west of Namcha Burwa is higher than this place, which is in lower. This is the fall. Okay, so this is what the Chinese want to utilize. I'll come back again. I'll come back to the story again. Now have a look at this map. If you see this map, the same thing I'm showing in this also. Sorry. This is the Himalayan crest line. Okay. Now Brahmaputra has 7 tributaries. In the forge, when we were there, when I was in the forge, we used to say 3S, 3D, 1L. Okay. Remember, 3S, 3D, 1L. Okay. What is this 3S? It's called Subansuri, Siom, and Siang. Okay. The 3 Ds are Dibang, Delai, and Dao. And 1L is Lohit. Now, the only transborder tributary is the main Yarlung Sampo or Lohit. Okay. Subansuri is completely in India. Siom is completely in India. Siang enters India. That is, from Yarlung Sangpo, it becomes Siang. It is called Siang in Arunachal Pradesh. In Arunachal Pradesh, it's called Siang. Okay. And see, this is Siang. This part is called Siang. It joins the main Brahmaputra at Sadhya actually, but we call it Pasighat also. That's okay, very little distance. So it joins and then it becomes Brahmaputra. Siang is only one tributary of mighty Brahmaputra. Dibang carries a lot of water. Dibang, Delai and Dao carry a lot of water. Lohit comes from across. See, here the water goes that side and here the water comes this side. Now the thing with Lohit is from where it enters, Lohit enters India at a place called Kibitu. Beyond Kibitu is China. Now the thing is, what I wanted to say is, from Kibitu to this place called Hemkud, right? No, it's called Parashram Kund. Sorry, not Hemkud. It's called Parashram Kund. Okay. From till that place, it's right where it, the Lohit, it enters the plains of Assam. The distance is 200 kilometers. So for 200 kilometers, it goes into a narrow gorge. It's a pretty narrow gorge. I mean, it's at places it's wide, but all the water in monsoons, which falls on this astride the Lohit hills or the hills astride Walong and all that, the water is in Lohit. Actually, the water is too much. There's no shortage of water there. China can't, like I again said, China can't hold water that side. Can't hold water. If it holds water, its defenses will get submerged. Okay. So the thing is that the thinking that Brahmaputra, if a dam on Brahmaputra will impede water into India is out. Brahmaputra contributes only about 15% of water or rather Yarlung Sangpo, which comes in from Tibet and becomes Siang, contributes only 15% of water to the Brahmaputra river system. Only 15%. Okay. That is something which you have to understand. There are misleading articles. Let me tell you now why I am doing this is there are misleading articles being written by Pakistanis and sponsored Chinese sponsored articles, which are coming out in many journals, with many things, which say that India has to be very careful when it holds Indus Water Treaty in abeyance, because then our friend China will do the same thing to this thing will be China will do the same thing to whom? India. China cannot do, I'm repeating, cannot do the Indus Water Treaty abeyance to India. I'll take it a little further. What China is doing by building the dam, if the water doesn't come into India, that 15%. Firstly, 15% it can't block. Let me put it this way: 15% it can't block. It can't dry that river out. If it does, I'll be grateful for China to do it in winter. In rainy season, because it will reduce the flow into Brahmaputra and reduce the floods in Brahmaputra. It will help us. People don't think of it this way. It will help us. The one who will actually get hit by what China is doing is Bangladesh. And I'll talk about it a little later. So we'll get back to this map. So first and foremost, there's no worry about water shortage in Brahmaputra. See, this is the amount of water which copious amount, and I've shown you only major ऊपर का, नीचे का तो मैंने दिखाया ही नहीं. ठीक है ना? Okay. Now there are a lot of dams which China has built on Brahmaputra and its tributaries north of in Tibet. All these I marked. You will get whole lot of things, but only one major dam is the Jangmu Dam. The rest are all run of the river or run of the water dams where they tap electricity, hold some water, and that's it. You see, there's another problem. They can't hold too much water there. You have to understand, in winter it freezes. In winter, much of water freezes. I mean, I can say this with authority. Because in one of my postings, I lived 2 years on the banks of Indus, which used to be frozen every winter. Not where, I'm talking about a place called Karu. My hut was on the banks of Indus. Many times I used to walk across Indus in winter. So, in fact, in winter, all these hydroelectric power plants don't work only there. We've done a lot of things. So, China doesn't hold water there, and they can tap electricity only in summer at most places. That's my guess. Even if they tap electricity other places at other times, it doesn't it doesn't make a sausage of a difference. Let me tell you. Where they can really actually tap everything is in this Big Bend area, because where I said, because the heights are low, the cuts are there, the monsoon gets in between. There the water level is higher. That's all. And that is why that fellow is doing this dam there. So we'll come to that. Okay, another way of looking at it. See, this is the way it goes. It will come, it will go, and it goes down. Okay. Right. Now, see it from the south. This is from the south. This is a southern view. This is Geling is in Arunachal Pradesh. You keep going up. All this, Brahmaputra enters Arunachal at a place north of Geling, Tooting, and north of Tooting there's a place called Kepangla. That is where it is. Yeah, it comes like this. Okay, this is India. You see this line? This is India. Sorry, yeah. This is India. I'm sure you can see it. Yeah, this is India. This is Gilling. All this is India. You see this? You see this as you go up, you keep gaining height, and then lot of height. This is important. It'll come like it comes down, and here the water starts flowing down. Understanding this is very, very important. It's important for the simple reason you get a perspective. If you don't get a perspective of this story, which I'm telling you now, I'm telling you a story actually. There's nothing very great about it. See, you see this height here, and you see this. So the height varies. Okay. Now, what is China's plan? This, figure tells you this is the northern side of the Big Bend. This is the southern side of the Big Bend, or rather, the western side of the Big Bend, and this is the eastern side of the Big Bend. So, as Brahmaputra comes around like this, these chaps want to put a pipe through, 3 pipes like this, and one dam here. Why? I'll show you now. You look at this. They want to put a dam here. Dekha? Dam here. Right? And then they want to put 1 pipe, 2 pipe, 3 pipes. They want to put pipes from here. Here, this is about 14,000 feet. This you come down to about 9,000 feet. So they want to drill through this. I'll go back now. Dekho. You see, they want to put pipes like this. This is a graphic. And a dam here, because then if you don't put a dam here, then water here might not be always enough to put water in these pipes. And here at the end of these pipes, they'll have penstocks, right? What is penstock? That's anyone who knows. They'll have a place where they'll have turbines. These pipes which come across the mountain will drive the turbines, and you generate electricity. Okay, है this is the interesting part. Right? So this is a schematic, or shall I say, artistic view of the whole thing. I wouldn't say artistic, more schematic thing. So again, this is the dam which they want to put. The thing is, no one knows where the dam is going to come up so far. They've done some surveys, all that, but exactly where the dam is, I don't know. And so this is a bit of my speculation. It could be here and there, it doesn't matter. So 1, 2, 3 pipes. And it's not a pipe, it's a tunnel. It's a huge tunnel. And a dam here. The dam is to ensure there is water upstream here in this area. And enough water comes through these 3 penstock pipes or penstock tunnels. And then water flows here, and here they'll have turbines. So what does this dam involve? It is boring under Namcha Parva. Some 15-20 kilometers of a tunnel, they have to, huge 3 tunnels they have to put through. All the best to them. Okay, under a 8,000 meter, mountain, they want to bore 3 tunnels. Only Chinese can think like this. And then this dam, and then they have, and from here they want to, okay. Now there are 2 things they want to do here. One is get electricity, and then this dam which they put, this dam, okay, they want to divert from here and take water down south. That's their long-term plan. And why? I'll come to that a little later. You have to understand the Chinese mind. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Now people say, how do we counter this? The counter to this is this. You would again understand. I'll go back a little and understand. Sorry. What is our interest? Right, this is the Siang portion. Our interest is if they put a dam here, which they're planning, not here. This is a wrong thing. I put it long back. This dot, it is a wrong dot. The dot will come here. If they put a thing here and they allow or ensure that the water doesn't come in here, then you put a dam here. Okay, a mirror dam. So you put a mirror dam down below, right? And that dam has to have an opposite effect. When they release the water, the dam should have been empty and it fills. When they stop the water, water from your dam is released down below, so that you always maintain water, adequate water in Siang. I hope you understood that. Okay. Okay. Now, sorry. See, look at this now. Okay. Yeah. This is it. So this fellow will come, he'll go down, and water will go down. Water he wants to cut through here. So what we need to do is, so that if there is water reduction here, you have to put a dam somewhere here. If he drives water here, from your dam you release water down south. If he overflows this, your water should be held in this dam. This is all speculative. These are not the exact locations. I must tell you this. Okay. So this dam, you want to build, the cost of China's Madog Dam is estimated to be $137 billion. We need to spend about 17 billion, which we can. It's not a big deal. Okay. So, and when you spend, you'll get electricity out of this. He is looking at 60 gigawatt. He wants to make it bigger than the Three Gorges Dam and all that lot. Not of issues. I have no problem with it. I have no problem how much he spends. We have to ensure that we are not badly affected by it. Okay, there's one more thing which I want to tell you. He can't stop all the water. Okay, his dam is here. Okay, his dam is here. Water which comes down from here will go down. He can't stop the water here. He can't hold. Okay, so you see, his dam is here. So water which comes through these tunnels will flow. It will still flow. So that is why you don't need a big dam, as big a dam as the Chinese. You need a smaller dam. Water in a Siang cannot be stopped. Water in Yarlung Zangpo, which is in this thing, can't be stopped. It will only be reduced. That's the first. The second thing is, there's a funny thing which, let me see if I can get you a better map. Yeah. You look at this. This dam is going to come somewhere here. These three penstock pipes are going to go this way. If he wants to take water from here down to Yunnan, he has to go through about 8-9 glaciers. How he is going to take that water through glaciers, no one knows. It might be a complete pipe dream. I can see some idiot of a Chinese talking nonsense, but he doesn't know from his bloody asshole to his elbow. I am very clear about it. Okay. So I don't know. And then he is generating 60 gigawatts of energy here in a place where there's no one. In Tibet also there's no one. What does he require? What does he want that electricity for? He wants that electricity down to be taken into Yunnan. So he's got a whole, it's not just the dam, he's got a whole lot of infrastructure to come up before the dam gets operational. And these electricity lines have to go across these glaciers, across a marginal road. I mean, this is actually dreams, big dreams. Will it happen? We don't know. That's the point I'm trying to make out again and again. All this is absolutely pie in the sky at this point of time. We don't know the engineering problems. They've only done a survey so far and said they've allocated budget and they are going for it. You have to understand why they are going for it. It is pure desperation. Please understand, it is desperation. It is desperation for three things. One, any infrastructure project generates GDP. This is typical Chinese thinking. Two, in Yunnan, they need electricity, energy to run their industry, Yunnan and below. And they don't have. China doesn't have water resources. So that is why, and they don't have energy. So they want energy from here and they want water from here. Is it feasible? We don't know. So let's examine that. Because unless you understand that story, you will not understand this whole story in the right perspective. See, look at this. From here, he wants to get water down here. Okay, let him keep getting water what he wants. See the way the water is coming down? In this, you can make out slowly. See, it's coming down. Okay. Okay. Now let's talk of this. This is the interesting part. Now my focus is not on Brahmaputra. We have to understand China, why it is doing this nonsense. This is it. China has 20% of global population, give or take 1% here and there. But only 6% of world's fresh water it has. Only 6%. So it is water deficient. Please understand. All these areas which I have shown are all water deficient areas. Okay. It is badly affected by climate change. Very badly. And someday I'll talk of it. I'll talk of their entire climate business and all. Wen Jiabao, way back in 2000, Wen Jiabao was their prime minister under Hu Jintao. Okay. He then said, water shortages would threaten the very survival of Chinese nation. They are conscious of this and there is a fact it can happen. And that is why this whole story. Climate change, I had done a video on that some time back, but I'll talk of it maybe a little later. Once let this Op Sindoor heat go off, I'll come back to China and I'll talk of climate change and how it's affecting China. It's affecting in myriad ways. This is a fact. Droughts and floods have been endemic to China from time immemorial. Many Chinese dynasties have collapsed due to drought, famines, and floods. The current drought is more extensive and severe, is what I wrote 2 years back or 3 years back. It has not changed. In the past 4-5 years, Chinese have been having alternately droughts and floods in the Yangtze Basin, which they have never had earlier. Right? I can see this idiot. He's a complete idiot. Okay? He's an absolute idiot. This red thing. Why? This map which I'm showing is of South China Morning Post. This bloody stupid fellow thinks he can come and troll here. And I can assure you, I know more about China than this ass. Okay? This is the figure when there was floods in China 3 years back and the Three Gorges Dam was to go. And this is the figure when drought happened the very next year or the year after that. These are the three main rivers, or yeah, Guangzhou or the Z River, the Yangtze River, and the Yellow River. The Yangtze is actually their lifeline. The problem happened like this: when Yangtze dried out and people could walk across Yangtze. In the history of China, this never happened. In fact, you go in some of their social media, you can see a chap with bike going across Yangtze. When that happened, there was a huge drought. This is the drought. This is the drought season. They have two major lakes. It's called the Dongting Lake and the Poyang Lake. Both these dried up. And this entire and Yangtze is a river which is navigable river. Wuhan is here. Products from Wuhan go down to Shanghai and go out through ships which come to Wuhan. And that year they collapsed. People don't know how to read China. Why I think China's economy is going nowhere is this. The next year, they had a lot of water here, but they had a drought in Yunnan. And Yunnan was their hydropower hub. It is not, was hydropower. Without water, without electricity, their complete industry collapsed that year and their GDP went down. Though, of course, they pumped it up by other means and all that. They had a huge problem. And the inkling of this, they know it. The Chinese chaps are liars. They know what their problem is. Complete liars. Okay. They know their problems. So they know they don't have water. They don't have water for their industry. They don't have water for their hydropower. And they don't have water for their cities. They don't have, because there's a lot of contamination in especially southern China because of rare earth extraction. It is highly contaminative. Okay, so there is a major problem, and they want water. They want electricity. Otherwise, their economy will not grow anymore. So when I say this economy is going to decline, I am not a fool. Their economy can't go up without electricity. Their economy can't go up without water. That is why this long term. They're looking at it after 25 years, it will come up. They took about 20 years to build the Three Gorges Dam. They'll take another 20 years to build this. So far, the first brick has not been laid. Okay, look at this. This is what their own story. He says, is China prepared for its warmer and wetter future? China will have long heat waves, more floods, and warmer seas this century. It is their climate scientists who are saying. And idiots here from China are trying to troll me. भैया जाके अपना बंदों को ट्रोल कर लो, शी जिनपिंग को ट्रोल करो, मेरे को नहीं, idiot. This is the Dongting Lake, which was dry, cracked earth. In that lake, which is one of the biggest freshwater lakes, there's little water, bloody, even toads couldn't live there. Then they had next year's major floods. Look, these are facts. These are internationally known facts. Okay. I am smiling and laughing because these idiots, they think others don't have memory. These are all recorded facts. If you go and see China's floods and this thing, you will say we had flood. They're very proud to say we are having floods which have never been seen in the past 1 century. Or we are having droughts which have never seen past 100 years. Well, it's going to screw your GDP. That's it. What's their track record? Their great leap forward actually led them to famine. Their one-child policy has resulted in aging China. So all their planning is useless. Just fake. Three Gorges Dam. Actually, this is the Three Gorges Dam. This was made fundamental plan of China was to make this Three Gorges Dam to prevent flooding in China. It has not. It has not stopped flooding. In fact, the floods, if anything, have gone more. And again, this is not what I'm saying. It is what those buffoons are talking. This is what those buffoons are talking. I don't know. When you go into it, you realize how idiotic a place this China is. Don't ever think that they are intelligent beyond a point. Of course, what they have done, you see, this Mekong River comes from China, goes into Thailand, and serves Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Laos and Vietnam. They built upstream Mekong dams, and they control all these, Asian nations through Mekong River. They do very well there. They're screwing them. You give Chinese an inch, he'll screw you. That's why I keep saying, don't bloody let this Chinese come anywhere near. वो भाग गया ना अभी वो China वाला. The moment I started showing Chinese statistics, it is gone. Now, let me get to some real problems which we're going to face. This dam is being built in a seismic zone where we've had major earthquakes. Now, any water body which is huge bears weight on that soil, and that soil is loose. So the problem for us is, if these fellows store too much water there, there'll be earthquakes. There'll be earthquakes there or in the surrounding area. If earthquake happens in Chinese area, I'm not bothered. What happens if it happens in my area? That is what we should be bothered. But there's a flip to it. The flip to it is, if they store too much water and the earthquake happens and it kills that dam, what happens? There, all these billions will go for a toss. So, if you see, there's a limit. There's a limit to what China can do. So it's not a thing for me. Incidentally, China, if you look, you Google Sichuan earthquake, all of you. When you Google Sichuan earthquake, you will see a funny thing. If you go into it, around 50,000 people died in the Sichuan earthquake some time back. I don't remember offhand when it happened, but I know the story. Why did Sichuan earthquake happen? Some distance away, these guys made an artificial dam and an artificial lake, and they enhanced that lake by embankments, and all that. They increased the volume of water in that area quite a bit. So the water in that area became heavy. It seeped through the cracks and it went through subterranean. It got linked to something in Sichuan, and the earthquake happened some distance away. 50,000 people died. That's my worry. I couldn't get a dam if 50,000 people died on the other side of the LAC. What happens if we get hit? Okay. And that's the worry. So to that extent, we have to talk to China. And when we get the leverage, we should talk to China. We will get the leverage. It's a matter of 4-5 years. Don't worry. You see, another major problem in this dam is, when you do a lot of vegetation and greening in these Tibetan areas or along the crest line, or where you see the plateau, when you do greening, you change the climate locally. And when you change the climate locally, you will have local rains. And more rain than necessary in that area results in mudslides. And this happened. Here, see this? This happened a few years back at a place called Choglamsar. This is a place called Choglamsar in Leh. This water just came off. One cloud burst. The mountain collapsed. It happened here. And it came down and hit Choglamsar badly. A lot of people died. That is a danger for me. There's another danger. There is something called the Himalayan jet stream. It goes like this. The southern leg of the jet stream goes along the crest of the Himalayas. and the northern goes on north of the Tibetan plateau. Why this happened, I don't know. This is Mother Nature. Okay, and the monsoon varies within these two orange lines. This is the southern end and the northern end. This is the way the monsoon oscillates. Okay. Now a combination of this and excess water here. I mean, a combination of this and other phenomenon gives you the monsoon pattern in this area. The northeast monsoon, that is the returning monsoon, is here. It affects South India. But when this northeast monsoon is affecting South India and coastal India, there is another monsoon system which affects China. And China gets copious water in that time. It's in October, November, December. And that is also their cropping season and sowing season and all that. Now, what happens is, if there's a body of water which is collected here and it upsets the monsoon pattern because of this oscillation and the jet stream, these monsoons can get affected. But the silly thing there is, I won't say the silly thing, the issue is that in this story is that it affects China also, it affects us also. For some reason, all these have not come out. And we need to do a lot of study on this. And I don't see anyone on our side doing study on this. I mean, I would like to see some researchers and all doing, but I don't see something very great. Okay. The biggest problem is this. When, due to climate change, sea levels rise, the prediction is this will be Bangladesh. From now, what is Bangladesh? This will be left. Now, add to that, water doesn't come from the north. If water doesn't come from the north into Brahmaputra enough, it will not flush Brahmaputra. If it doesn't flush Brahmaputra, salinity comes into Bangladesh, and Bangladesh agriculture will go for a toss. As simple as that. And Bangladesh is still an agrarian economy, so they're going to be hit very badly. Not India. And Bangladesh has a pact with China. Today, it has an agreement with China, MOU with China, that China will give them advance notice of any inflow of water, higher inflow of water to Bangladesh. So far, China has not given them. It is India which gives them. The water flow in Brahmaputra is rising. When it rises in Pasighat area, if you tell after 5 days, water comes into Brahmaputra, into Bangladesh. We give them notice. China doesn't give them notice, despite they having a MOU with them. They don't have a MOU with us, we still give them. And you just think of these idiots in Bangladesh. They still want China to come and help them out, and they want to make faces at us. So this is the kind of foolishness, okay, which Bangladeshis are doing. Their sustenance is with us. Unless they join hands with us, we can't. I mean, you can't deal with. I mean, I don't say you can't deal with. Bangladesh and India should join hands to deal with China. But this idiot Bangladeshis, they are joining hands with China, going against India. And who will get affected? It is Bangladeshis. So this is the whole story. Okay, the issues in Bangladesh, the Brahmaputra dams are far different from what it is we think about the Indus water. So I think overall we should understand this story. And as far as this dam is concerned, it's got a long time to go. They have not done anything. Whether they can afford it also, the way China is going down, it's not funny. Already those chaps, there's a, maybe I'll see if I can lay my hands on the original article. I'll talk of it tomorrow. There's a holiest of holy journals in China called Qxi. In Qxi, there's an article that China has to, prepare for the long haul because they're getting screwed badly in tariff war. And this red fire troll free, who this toll free number है ना ये बेवकूफ आदमी. So I think enough is enough. We'll keep him out a bit. Okay, let him go out for some time. So this whole lot, they're having, yeah. और भी है क्या? रेड फायर अब्दुल है, ठीक है, जो भी है उसको जाने दो. So this is what the whole story about Brahmaputra is. There is no comparison between Brahmaputra Dam and Indus Water Treaty. China can do very little to us. So why am I doing all this? So that you guys understand and don't fall prey to the nonsense by Pakistan and China, information warfare. We can actually turn the screws fully on Pakistan without bothering about it. I do hope you people have understood what I had to put across. This is the third or the fourth time I'm talking, but today I've given a little different shape to this whole thing. And I'll get let me see, I got it. That Qxi article, if I can see, I'll do it tomorrow. Okay? Okay, let me take some question. Venki has come up. I can't stop Venki. I have to honor Venki and answer him. This is a self-aggrandizing project, is established to cost about 137 billion. And Emperor Z doesn't know the project's impact on Brahmaputra would be minimal as catchment areas. And yeah, see, Venki, the basic thing is they have a problem. You have to understand they have a problem, then they have no other place to go. And this is the only place where they can tap water. This is the only place where they can tap electricity and take it to Yunnan. This project might never get, executed because China might not have money to do so. That's the thing. Okay, that's the thing. Lene, please do not react to it. I'm not reacting. I'm finding it actually funny. Subramaniam, don't worry. Yeah. And Royal Judge says, very useful presentation. Thank you. Let me first take technology. Sir, can you do a detailed show on limited Indo-China war where they go for quick saturation attack, use drones plus cruise plus HEV missiles, can we defend against them? Who will Russia and USA side with? Tomorrow I'll do at 7 o'clock. We are going to do something of this with in Jaipur dialogues. Come. But let me tell you, China can't do a bloody snot out here. Don't worry, unnecessary. They can't do. Yeah, you guys must understand, China can't do much. He's not got anything. Haven't you seen what has happened now? Those stupid Chinese weapons, they don't function. Thanks a lot, Subramanian and Jnana Subramanian. And Bhupati, thanks a lot for becoming a member. Okay, let me take some questions. Yeah, the best solution is to free Tibet. Look, here we have to understand. We have to understand whether our politicians are capable of doing this or not. Okay. Yeah, hats off, Major. Awesome insights. Wow, wow. Look, Veda, I'm not a major, I'm a lieutenant general. Learn to please respect the person whom you're addressing. Okay, I was a major 40 years back. Okay. Thanks. Okay, thanks a lot, Ramesh. Maps definitely needed for this podcast. Yeah, good job. Thank you. Let me see. Hope that IITC is not restricting your guidance only for mechanical engineering, but using your services for land water management department. Their teams are sincere enough to use your expertise. Look, Arunachal, the thing is, I am more interested in today and my focus areas are something completely different. Today also I was there. We are seeing how we can do a composite anti-drone system using multiple technologies and for the next generation. Well, whenever they want any help for water and all, I'm prepared to give it, but they have to come to me. I'm not going there because I'm here with a purpose. Our own water security problem, scarcity, I know, but I don't have the time to tell you, right? For the simple reason that, uh, I have only 24 hours. I can't do more. Like today morning, I couldn't do more because I had to go for a conference early morning. So I didn't have time to do. Tomorrow, let me see if I can do. I'm not the whole day I've missed out doing analysis and research. Only when I do that, I can also talk to you with some level of confidence. Please review our diplomacy, especially for last 1 year developments. Are we following it? Yeah, Smith Patel. What I'll do is I'll get an ambassador and we'll take an analysis. It's in my thing. Maybe next week we will do it. Okay, let me see others who have. So Myanmar recently started constructing procuring materials from us as PRC was supplying cheap stuff, and many buildings have collapsed during earthquake, and we expect the dam itself to flow. We don't know. Nothing has happened. There's not even a single dam, not even a single brick put there. Hey, don't worry too much, Akash, about all these fellows. They don't fund me. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, it is also going to impact West Bengal. It will. It might not. Because uh, West Bengal has feed more from Tista. Yeah. So same propaganda of dam Chinese did 20 years back. That time it was Satluj River. Catchment area of Satluj River is in Himachal and Punjab. That time also few anti-Indians were intentional. Yeah, that's it. That's how. It's not much. But one of these days I'll do a bit of research, speak to people there, and get back to you. लोग जितना चाइना को इंटेलिजेंस समझते हैं, ये उतने ही बेवकूफ हैं. Who in their Dante minds destroyed their demographic, which was their biggest advantage. Oh, ये Mao है. It's only Mao. Mao and not even Mao, it was Deng Xiaoping. Deng Xiaoping. Yeah, excess fertilizer application for agriculture has also contaminated many of China's surface water and ground surface water reserves. 100% agree. Right? Yeah, you need multiple dams as step ups the mountains to lift water to Yunnan. Will it increase precipitation in Tibet and northeast monsoon? Northeast, yeah, there are problems. There are ecological problems, which I completely agree with you. Okay, mock drills. Yeah, don't worry, we'll see. That's to keep Pakistan on the tenterhooks. I hear whispers that Saraswati also dried up because of climate change. Possible. I really don't know. I mean, that's something which I have not done. Uh, you know. Thanks a lot, Sudarshana. How are you? Right. With that kind of topography, it won't be easy for China to build a dam. I agree with you. And one more thing, in that area, there's a construction period. You can't construct a dam there every day. It has to be about 8, 9. It won't. It would. You can't construct anything there more than 6 months a year. In fact, in that place where there's more monsoons, you might not be able to construct anything for more than 5 months in a year. So fantastic narrative of Brahmaputra origin and course. Really best tutorial. Thank you. Yeah, what I would request is, spread this video. Many people must see it so that they understand. That's the whole thing. Yeah, it was China that started talking about weaponizing water with the construction of dams at all. Bharat implemented it real time with IWTI bans. Doesn't China need to rework its strategy? China has to rework its complete strategy. Don't worry about it. Yeah, what Yogesh is saying is right. In Canada, during winter months, rivers are frozen so heavy trucks are using as highway. Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, thank you for the wonderful 3Ds. I'll never forget visited Assam was spellbound by Brahmaputra River, massive. Now I understand technicalities too. We'll watch it again till all info sinks in. Yeah, give it to all your friends also so that they understand. Look, this is part of India. You must understand it. Hi Krishna, how are you? Sanjeev Nair, thanks a lot for watching. This video should be seen by all nationalists. Please spread it. Everyone must spread this. Okay. Yeah. I've, most of you have gone through it. Let me see if there's anyone left. I've left out. Yeah. Nipun Bella, thanks for becoming a YouTube member. Natural beauty of the bend could be ruined with this dam. The Huns probably don't care. Hence, probably don't care since this is not their traditional land. A shame. Yeah, that's the pity. And thanks a lot, Balasri, for your super sticker. And if there's any other questions, I'll take. Otherwise, we'll. Yeah, I did say wrong building dams will help us. If I'm not wrong, building dams will also help us in reducing floods. I did say this. What do you think? Yeah, ये तो चला गया. What do you think of Pakistani and Bangladeshi Hindus? Look, we're not talking of this right now. When I have to talk of this, we'll talk of it. One lecture on land management with IRR higher than weapons as an instrument of geostrategy. Yeah, we're doing it, isn't it? We are doing it with Pakistan. So that's how it is. That's a bigger instrument on geostrategy. But that you got a point. China can divert water by tunneling along the backwater areas. I don't think so, Vish. I mean, they can. Uh, Theoretically, they can. Whether the practically, there are too many glaciers in that area. That's the thing. So population is less now, and they need less food. No, don't think so. Don't think that their population is so low. See, if their population was so low, they wouldn't have attempted all this. So there are contradictory. Some people are talking it's only 800 million, all that. It's not so. Yeah, it wouldn't be 1.4 million, but it would be around 1.2 million mark definitely. And you see, they're losing. There's extreme desertification which is happening. And they've lost a lot of arable land to, urbanization. And they've lost a lot of arable land by contamination due to mineral extraction. Rare earth extraction, they paid a heavy price. A lot of that mineral extraction, they just can't grow anything there. Chinook flying overhead right now. I don't know where you are. So yeah. Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm demonstrating about this issue and spreading your videos daily, at least to 10 families. Thanks a lot. I'm so glad. Yeah, this is more impactful than MOD and MEA briefings put together. Yeah, look, they are doing their job. They are doing very good. But naturally, they can't make you understand the fundamentals. So it is people like me who know the area, who've been to these areas, have been to Kepangla, I've been to Tuting, right? I've lived in those areas. So we can talk. Okay, you're so interested. please comment on Bharat Karnad. You want my thing? Just ignore him. Just ignore him. Period. I met him. I know him. If you ignore him, you'll be better off. Kindly ask Jaipur dialogue guy not to speak when. No, don't worry. He's okay. He's not a thing. Could dams become primary military target to flood civilian land, and how much of a logistical challenge is it to defend? There's a book, there's a thing. Dam bursting is something which the Britishers did, the Allies did against Germany. They burst a series of dams along Rhine. Okay, they flooded Rhine in conjunction with their other activities. There's a book called, a novel called The Dam Bursters. It's an interesting book. Read it. You'll understand a lot. Okay, you'll understand a lot about thing. It can be done. It has to be timed, because what happens is if you burst a dam, there's a flood. After the flood, there's no water. Both things happen within a very short time, and you have only limited windows of each. So there are issues in bursting a dam. It's not so simple. Yeah, north-south connection. Okay, someday we'll do it. Okay. Is it okay? This is a very good interest. Is it safe to travel areas like Leh with family right now, next month? You must. This is the best season. May, June, July. Must go. Spend a week or 10 days with your family. First 2 days you can't go anywhere. You have to sleep. Get accustomed, because the oxygen in Leh is much lesser. Okay. And then go loaf around. If you're going, you might as well go for 10-15 days. Don't go for just for 1 week and all. Because first 2 days are out, and the last day you have to catch a flight out and all. So actually, it won't be a bad idea if you go land in a flight and then spend 8-9 days there, and last 2 days, 3 days, take a taxi back. The price of a cab for a family will be lesser than the price for 4 air tickets. And you'll see some of the most beautiful places on your way down. Absolutely stunning places. Okay. Okay. I think we've done for the day. There are a lot of things. We have another new member who's joined. Cyber. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Almost took me to beautiful sightseeing free of cost. I had visited 100 Mountain Brigade on duty to assist in field firing of ATGMs across Teesta. Oh, great. Yeah, that's very nice. I've done a lot of firing on Teesta, right from 77, 78. Okay. Anyway, thanks a lot. I hope you people had a good time watching this. Informative. Do spread this whole story to everyone. And till tomorrow morning, let me see what I can put together tomorrow morning and get back to you around 9 o'clock. Till then, bye. Have a great day. Have a great night. And watch that, IPL match which is going on.